Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Famines of the Ages. Today, we will be exploring the Irish Potato Famine. This concept is being explored by Mike Hodge and Charles Angel for National History Day. Let's see what these two scholars have dug up on the potato blight of 1845. Prior to 1845, Ireland experienced a population boom, and since it was a highly unindustrialized country, many of these people were relying on the potato as their main source of food, eating between 6.5 and 14 pounds of potatoes in a single day. Because the Irish needed so many potatoes, they started using one or two high-yielding kinds instead of using multiple different kinds and allowing for genetic variation. But when an airborne pathogen by the name of Phytophthorans infectans fungus came through, they were in big trouble when 50% of their crop died in 1945. Wexford and Waterford were the first place to report the blight, but it was quickly reported in multiple other places. In 1846, the famine really hit hard, killing nearly 100% of the crop, including those already in storage from previous years. In 1847 to 1851, there wasn't even enough sweet potatoes left to plant for the entire population, causing nearly 1 million deaths from this famine.
The British relief for the Irish Potato Famine was to send Indian maize from the United States. This was useless because the Irish didn't have enough mills to process all of it in time, and the corn, once processed, gave the Irish people indigestion because their stomachs were not used to the Indian maize. The Irish Potato Famine, over 1 million either died or immigrated. Over 50,000 were killed, and the population went from 8 million to 6 million. People and livestock were also affected by the Irish Potato Famine because of the lack of the potato. It was fed to both people and livestock. Welcome back to the Charles and Mike Fireside Stories Irish Potato Famine. In this segment, we'll be discussing immigration. Many of Irish people were disrupted by the potato famine and caused to move all about the world. Millions of them went into Europe and the United States, where they were met with prejudice because of their Catholicism. In the United States, they were actually told in New York to hang Irish people, which was not nice. Welcome to our last section on the Irish Potato Famine. In this, we'll be talking about reaction, reform, and revolution, and how the Irish Potato Famine connects to these topics. I'll be starting out with reform. The Irish Potato Famine was a reform in agriculture because they began to use genetic variation with the potatoes, so this would never happen again. The Irish Potato Famine was a revolution because it sparked Irish hatred for the British government and rule, which later caused them to secede from Great Britain's rule. There were two reactions to the Irish Potato Famine. One was that the Irish started to hate the British rule. The other one was widespread immigration of Irish people around the globe. Thank you for tuning in to Charles and Mike's Fire Time Stories.